Sport is superstition, science, family, drama, love, theatre. It's everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
It's full court press time and the Nets have parted ways with their coach Steve Nash. What does this mean, Jaymz, in the short term for the Nets?
It probably means a lot of ISO ball, a bit of confusion and, I don't know, relying on their talent to outscore teams, Dicko. That's what they've been doing already. So in the short term, probably not a giant amount, but really, look, with the mooted sort of moves that they're looking to bring in, like Ime Udoka as a coach or whatever, this is a team that is like Harry Styles at the moment, without one direction. They've they're being pantsed across the board in terms of like defensive efficiency, defensive rating, net rating, rebounding, three-point percentage for their opponents. It's pretty crazy. And look, Nash had a 94-67 record for the Nets. He was up against it the entire time. Barely ever had KD, Kyrie, James Harden ever play at the once. They played 16 games. Ben Simmons is sort of already on the shelf at the moment. It's a bit of a tough one, but really, going into this sort of season, we knew that it could be a bit of a dumpster fire. It already is. So in the short term, I'd be fading the Nets as hard as I possibly can. They play the Wizards this Saturday. The Wizards are going to just take them out to the back of the woodshed, I reckon, in that one.
Well, you mentioned Ben Simmons. What impact do you think this has on Ben? And you mentioned Ime Udoka as well, and can he help him?
A coach like Ime Udoka would help, I think, a lot for Ben Simmons, because Ben needs just someone to light a fire on him. Just go, Ben, go out there, stop him. Just stop him, mate. Just be a defensive menace. And that's exactly what Udoka does. Like when he took over the Boston Celtics last year, took them to the finals. Look, he took a team that was kind of middling by halfway through the season, turned them around. They turned into a defensive menace, made it all the way to the finals. If he can do something vaguely similar with the Nets, which is a big if, but that's the sort of coach that you'd want for Simmons, right? And if he does and it clicks, he's a defensive player of the year caliber player. We know that, so I just say, keep an eye on those defensive player of the year odds.
What about the Warriors? Is it too early to just line up for the panic button and press it?
Press it? Nah. I mean, can they? No. Will they? Also, no.
Oh, there's your signature.
Look, they're 3-5, Dicko. Like, they play Orlando this week. They've got the Pelicans as well this weekend. Going up against Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic. I love Paolo. He's an absolute just weapon. He's out there doing stuff as a rookie that we've not seen anyone do since LeBron, basically. But look, the Warriors, what they're doing is trying to assimilate their young dudes. And we talked about this pre-season. Young dudes and the vets. They're resting their vets. This is the part of the season that doesn't matter for the Warriors. They're getting their young dudes playing. They'll be rolling. Look, Jordan Poole, I love him. He's getting paid a lot, but he's like traveling more than like what, an episode of Huey's Cooking Adventures at this point. He got called for 3 travels, I think, in the last game. But these are just like, fit problems. They'll figure it out. They'll be fine. I reckon they have a get-right game there against the Magic. They can win that. They'll cover. The Magic play team's tough, but not in that one. The big question, though, is when they play the Pelicans. That's going to be a huge game for both teams.
Well, you've got more one-liners than me, so don't upstage the host here on this one. Right, the Pelicans, you mentioned their injury woes, but Zion is back. What difference does he make?
What difference does he make? Well, imagine if you've got a Mack truck that you just put on the middle of that court, strapped a Pelicans jersey onto it and just drove it straight at the basket. That's what Zion does. You should see, like, the point differentials when he's on and off the court are absolutely chaotic. He makes such a big difference to that Pelicans team when he's healthy. They're a really, really deep team as well. But when he's there, they become like a top 2, top 3 team in the West, a 50-win team. And when you ask, like, what sort of difference? It's like a 10 to 15 win difference across the entire season, I dare say. If he stays healthy, that's their upside. They could challenge for the Western Conference. You put the ball in his hands, just let him go, and no one wants to stand in front of him. Like, you can't be called a coward for that either, Ben. I'll tell you that much. You just don't want to get run over. They play Atlanta this weekend as well as the Warriors, and those 2 games are going to be huge for the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans can win both of those pretty handily. Atlanta are fun. Atlanta are good. So are the Warriors, but I'll tell you what, the Pelicans are better.
I'll tell you what, you haven't disappointed with the fast start, and that was the full court press.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.